Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something deeply personal, yet universal in its truth, the ability to trust your wings. Life has a way of presenting us with challenges, obstacles, and moments of uncertainty. But it is in these very moments that we are called to rise, to soar, and to trust that the wings within us are strong enough to carry us to heights we have never imagined. Just as an eagle does not question its ability to fly, you too must learn to trust the power within you. The wings of your potential are already inside you, and the winds of life are constantly blowing in your favor. All that is required is for you to spread those wings, to rise above your fears, and to believe in the greatness that already exists within you. Remember, the sky is not the limit, it is merely the beginning. Every challenge, every trial is an opportunity for you to stretch your wings further. The time to take flight is now. Do not allow self-doubt or fear to clip your wings. You were born to soar. Trust in your wings, trust in your journey, and trust that with every step you take, you are closer to the greatness you are destined for. The first step toward unlocking your true power is to recognize that you already possess everything you need to succeed. Many people go through life searching for something outside themselves, looking for validation, for approval, for the secret formula to success. But the reality is, all the tools you need are already embedded within you. Your skills, your intellect, your emotions, and your strength are all gifts that you were born with. Often we are conditioned to doubt these inherent abilities, believing that we need external sources of inspiration or approval to be confident. However, the truth is that the confidence you need is not found in others, but within the depths of your own soul. To embrace your potential fully, you must first recognize that you have the capacity for greatness. This is not about arrogance, but about understanding that you have the power to impact the world around you. Whether it's the ability to inspire others with your words, create something beautiful with your hands, or solve problems in innovative ways, your potential is vast. The limits that you perceive are often self-imposed. They are rooted in fear, doubt, and a lack of self-awareness. Once you realize that the only true limits are the ones you set for yourself, you begin to understand that the potential you've always dreamed of is already inside you, waiting to be set free. The second part of embracing your potential is accepting the idea that growth is a lifelong journey. Many people look for instant results, but in reality, personal development is an ongoing process. It requires patience, consistency, and a willingness to fail and rise again. When you trust your potential, you stop seeing setbacks as failures, but rather as stepping stones to mastery. The greatest achievers in history did not reach their peak without facing challenges. It was their ability to keep pushing forward despite the obstacles that allowed them to fully step into their potential. You are no different. Your potential will not be realized overnight, but with every effort, you are laying the foundation for your future greatness. Lastly, embracing your potential involves the courage to step outside of your comfort zone. It's easy to stay within the confines of what is familiar, to play it safe and avoid risk. But growth happens when you push past your limits and take on challenges that force you to evolve. Each new experience, whether it brings success or failure, adds to the richness of who you are. It sharpens your skills and helps you discover untapped abilities. To embrace your potential, you must be willing to take bold action, even when the path is uncertain. Trust that your wings will catch you, even when you feel like you are stepping into the unknown. In that space of discomfort, you will find the freedom to soar to new heights. Rise above fear. Fear is often portrayed as an enemy, something that stands between us and our dreams. But in reality, fear is a natural and universal response to the unknown. It is a part of the human experience, and it arises in every person at some point in their life. What sets successful individuals apart is not the absence of fear, but their ability to face it head on and rise above it. Fear can be paralyzing, making us doubt our abilities and question our potential, but it is important to understand that fear is not a reflection of our inability, it's a reflection of our desire to grow and expand. One of the most powerful ways to rise above fear is to shift your perspective. Fear often arises when we focus on the potential negative outcomes of a situation. We imagine the worst-case scenario, and this imagination traps us in a cycle of inaction. But the truth is, these fears are often based on speculation, not fact. Most of the time with things that haven't even happened yet. By changing the focus from what could go wrong to what could go right, you begin to challenge the fear. Rather than allowing fear to dominate your thoughts, you choose to see the possibilities, the opportunities, and the growth that lies on the other side of the fear. Another way to rise above fear is through action. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer weight of fear, but taking small, consistent steps in the face of that fear builds resilience. When you act despite feeling afraid, you begin to prove to yourself that fear does not have to control you. Every time you take action, even in the face of fear, you create a new belief within yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Fear diminishes with each courageous step you take. It may not disappear completely, but you learn how to move forward with it, using it as fuel for your journey rather than a roadblock. Furthermore, understanding that fear is a companion to growth allows you to embrace it rather than resist it. Growth and comfort do not coexist. Fear often arises when you are stepping into new territory, when you are pushing yourself beyond your current boundaries. This is not a sign that you are not ready, rather it is an indication that you are about to expand your horizons. If you never face fear, you would never know what lies beyond your current limitations. Fear in this sense becomes a signal that you are on the verge of something great. Instead of running from it, you learn to walk with it, acknowledging it as a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Lastly, it is important to realize that fear is not something that can be completely eradicated. It is not about eliminating fear from your life, but about learning how to manage and respond to it. Those who rise above fear don't allow it to dictate their choices. They recognize fear as a part of the journey, but they do not let it hold them back. They embrace it as a challenge to be conquered, and in doing so, they unlock new levels of courage, resilience, and power. As you rise above fear, you will discover that the life you were meant to live is waiting just beyond the threshold of your comfort zone. Every person is born with an inherent power, a unique strength that resides deep within their being. It is a force that transcends external circumstances, limitations, and doubts. This power is not something you need to search for or hope to acquire one day. It is already present, embedded in your DNA, waiting for you to recognize it and learn how to tap into it. Too often we overlook this power, looking outside ourselves for validation, for direction, or for approval from others. But true power comes from within. It's a force that is shaped by your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It is the essence of who you are, capable of achieving far more than you often realize. When you understand that the power within you is limitless, you begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and development. This inner power is fueled by your ability to shape your reality through your mindset. The way you view yourself, the world, and your circumstances plays a significant role in unlocking your potential. If you constantly see yourself as a victim of your circumstances, you will remain powerless. However, when you recognize that you have the ability to change your mindset, shift your perspective, and respond differently, you unlock a force that can move mountains. The power within you is activated when you choose to see possibility in the face of adversity and to act from a place of belief in your own strength. Furthermore, tapping into the power within you means acknowledging your own worth and value. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness, which can prevent them from fully embracing their capabilities. But the truth is, you are worthy of success, joy, and fulfillment. Your worth is not defined by your past mistakes, your failures, or your shortcomings. It is defined by the simple fact that you exist, and within you lies the power to shape your destiny. When you accept your inherent worth and recognize the gifts you bring to the world, you begin to harness the power within you. This power is the fuel that drives you forward even when the road gets tough. Finally, the power within you is not just about individual success. It is about understanding that you are connected to something greater than yourself. There's a force in the universe that works in tandem with the power within you, an energy that flows when you are aligned with your purpose and your higher self. This connection amplifies your personal power, guiding you toward the right people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your path. When you trust that this inner power is not just a personal attribute, but a universal force, you begin to move through life with a greater sense of purpose and direction. You realize that you are not alone in this journey. The power within you is part of a larger. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, yet they are often viewed as something to be avoided or feared. The common response to challenges is to resist them, hoping they will simply go away. However, it is in the face of challenges that we truly discover who we are, what we're made of, what we're capable of achieving. Challenges are not there to break us down, but rather to build us up. They are opportunities for growth, refinement, and transformation. When you embrace challenges instead of running from them, you open the door to your fullest potential. The first step in embracing challenges is understanding that they are a natural and necessary part of life. Growth cannot happen in a comfort zone. In fact, comfort often leads to stagnation. Just as muscles grow stronger by resisting weights, your character, resilience, and abilities grow stronger, stay stronger by overcoming difficulties. Every challenge you face presents an opportunity to stretch beyond your current limitations, to reach new heights, and to develop a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. It is through facing these challenges head-on that you cultivate the strength, wisdom, and determination necessary to succeed in all areas of life. Challenges also serve as powerful teachers. They force us to confront our weaknesses, fears, and limitations. Without challenges, we might never know where we need to improve or what areas of our lives require more attention. Each challenge you encounter is like a mirror reflecting aspects of yourself that may need refinement. When you approach challenges with an open mind rather than seeing them as obstacles, you begin to understand them as invaluable lessons. Through each trial, you learn not only about the world, but also about your own capabilities, resilience, and capacity to overcome adversity. Challenges are a form of education that cannot be replicated in any classroom or book. Moreover, embracing challenges helps you build a mindset that thrives on perseverance and innovation. When faced with adversity, the easiest thing to do is to give up or succumb to frustration. But those who succeed in life are not defined by how they avoid challenges, but by how they approach them. They take proactive steps to solve problems, adapt to changing circumstances, and find creative solutions. Embracing challenges means being willing to think outside the box, to take calculated risks, and to remain focused on your goals, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your problem-solving abilities, expands your creativity, and builds the mental toughness required for greater success in the future. In essence, challenges are the catalyst for your personal and professional growth. They force you to evolve, to learn, and to step into a higher version of yourself. By embracing challenges, you are embracing the very process that will lead you to the success and fulfillment you desire. It is through the difficulties that you will find the strength to achieve your dreams. Trusting the journey is one of the most powerful and transformative acts you can make in your life. Often we are so focused on the destination, the end result, the achievement, the goal, that we forget to honor the process that gets us there. The journey is not just a means to an end, it is an essential part of the experience. Every twist, turn, setback, and breakthrough is woven into the very fabric of who you are becoming. When you trust the journey, you give yourself permission to move forward with faith, even when the path ahead is unclear, uncertain, or difficult. The first step in trusting the journey is accepting that the process may not always be linear. Life does not always unfold in a straight line. Often the road to success is filled with detours, delays, and unexpected changes. However, these moments of uncertainty are not signs of failure. They are part of the natural rhythm of life. Growth happens in the spaces between the steps we take, in the quiet moments of waiting, and the lessons we learn from unexpected challenges. When you trust the journey, you release the need for everything to happen exactly as you planned. You embrace the idea that the road may take you in directions you didn't foresee, but that those directions might just be leading you to something greater than you ever imagined. Another aspect of trusting the journey is letting go of the need for instant gratification. In a world where everything is available at the touch of a button, it can be difficult to practice patience. But true transformation and success take time. The process of growth is not something that can be rushed. It requires consistency, resilience, and a willingness to remain committed even when progress seems slow. Trusting the journey means acknowledging that every small step you take is valuable and that progress, no matter how incremental, is still progress. It is about cultivating the patience to keep going, even when the end goal feels far away, knowing that every effort you make brings you closer to your ultimate destination. Trusting the journey also involves having faith in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. The journey may not always be easy, and there will inevitably be moments when you question whether you are on the right path. In these moments, self-doubt may creep in, and fear may try to steer you off course. But when you trust the journey, you trust yourself, your strength, your resilience, and your ability to navigate through the challenges you face. You recognize that setbacks are not permanent roadblocks, but temporary detours that help you learn, grow, and become stronger. By trusting the process, you develop a deep sense of confidence in your ability to adapt, overcome, and ultimately thrive. Ultimately, trusting the journey is about surrendering control and accepting that life's path will unfold in its own time. It's about moving forward with faith, knowing that every experience, every challenge, and every triumph is a part of your unique story. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but by trusting the journey, you release the need to have all the answers. You trust that everything you need to learn to grow is one of the most insidious forces that can hold us back from reaching our fullest potential. When you trust the journey, creeps into our minds when we are faced with uncertainty, challenges, and celebrate the small victories along the way. It whispers that we're not good enough, that we're not capable, or that we don't deserve success. However, doubt is not a reflection of your true abilities. It is merely a manifestation of fear, insecurity, and a lack of self-belief. Letting go of doubt is essential for stepping into the fullness of who you are and achieving the greatness you are capable of. The first step in letting go of doubt is to recognize that it is not your true voice. Doubt often originates from external influences, negative experiences, past failures, or the opinions of others, rather than from your own heart. It can be tempting to allow the voices of doubt to dominate your thoughts, especially when facing challenges, but these voices do not define you. They are simply temporary thoughts that do not reflect your true potential. To let go of doubt, you must begin to distinguish between the voice of fear and the voice of your inner strength. The more you separate these two, the easier it becomes to dismiss the doubt and focus on what you truly know to be possible. Another powerful way to release doubt is to affirm your worth and capability. Too often we allow doubt to thrive because we fail to recognize the strength and abilities that we possess. When you doubt yourself, you are denying the greatness that already resides within you. Begin by reminding yourself of your past successes, the challenges you have already overcome, and the strength you have shown in difficult times. Every time you doubt yourself, counter it with an affirmation of your abilities. Tell yourself, I am capable, I have the power to succeed, or I am worthy of achieving my goals. These affirmations are not just empty words, they are declarations that begin to reshape your belief system and diminish the power of doubt. Letting go of doubt also means taking action despite it. Many people fall into the trap of waiting for doubt to disappear before they make a move. But the truth is, doubt may never fully disappear. It's natural to feel some level of uncertainty when pursuing something new or challenging. The key is to act anyway. When you take action in the face of doubt, you begin to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. Every step you take, regardless of how small, builds confidence and momentum. Over time, you will see that the more you act, the less influence doubt has over you. Action silences doubt because it demonstrates that you trust in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way. Lastly, letting go of doubt requires you to trust the process of life. Life is not meant to be perfect or predictable. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, and moments of uncertainty. However, doubt often arises when we try to control every aspect of our journey, or when we fear the unknown. Trusting the process means surrendering the need for absolute certainty and accepting that not everything will go according to plan. It is about having faith that the steps you are taking, even when unclear or difficult, are leading you exactly where you need to go. When you trust in the process, you stop doubting yourself and the path you are on, knowing that every experience is an opportunity for growth, learning, and discovery. You were made to soar. From the moment you were born. You were imbued with purpose, potential, and the ability to achieve greatness. You were never meant to live a life confined by limitations, doubt, or mediocrity. But just like an eagle is born to fly, you were made to soar. Inside you lies the power, the resilience, and the vision to rise above any challenge, to break free from the constraints that others or even your own fears may place upon you. The truth is, the heights you are destined to reach have already been determined by the potential that resides within you. It is time to recognize that you were not created to stay grounded, but to ascend to the highest levels of your existence. Soaring requires you to acknowledge your innate strength and to believe in your ability to achieve the extraordinary. Too often, people settle for less because they do not recognize their own worth and power. The world may try to tell you that your dreams are too big, too unrealistic, or too far out of reach, but deep down, you know that the desires in your heart are there for a reason. They are the very indicators of your potential. Your dreams are not coincidences, they are the callings of your soul, urging you to step into the greatness you were born for. You were made to fly. Do not allow anyone or anything to clip your wings or make you believe that you are anything less than extraordinary. To soar, you must also be willing to embrace the challenges that come your way. Soaring is not about escaping hardship, but about rising above it. An eagle does not shy away from the storm, it uses the winds to lift it higher. Similarly, you must learn to use life's challenges as the winds that push you toward greater heights. Every setback, every failure, and every obstacle you encounter is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. When you understand that the storms of life are not there to defeat you, but to propel you toward your destiny, you begin to embrace them as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. The higher you aim, the more powerful the winds become, but so do your wings. Furthermore, to soar, you must trust in your unique path. No two eagles have the same flight path, and no two people have the same journey. Your path is uniquely yours, and it is filled with opportunities and experiences that are designed specifically for you. It is easy to look at others and compare their success to your own, but remember that your journey is not a race against anyone else. It is your own personal evolution. You must trust that where you are right now is exactly where you need to be to prepare for the next phase of your ascent. Your purpose is different from anyone else's, and the experiences that shape your growth are unique to you. Trust in the unfolding of your journey, knowing that each moment is leading you closer to the heights you were meant to reach. Finally, to soar, you must take bold and decisive action. The eagle doesn't hesitate to spread its wings. It knows that in order to reach the sky, it must leap into the air with confidence. Similarly, you must step out in faith, trusting that you have the wings to carry you. Even when the path ahead seems uncertain, do not wait for the perfect moment or the right conditions. Take action now. Every step you take, no matter how small, propels you forward toward your goals. The only way to soar is to take flight, to push past the fear and the doubts, and to move with purpose and determination toward the life you were born to live. You were made to soar, not just in a world filled with distractions, uncertainty, the world needs your unique gifts, your vision. One of the most empowering things you can do is to act with purpose. You have the wings. Now it's time to spread the driving force that propels you forward. The inner compass that guides your decisions, and the motivation that keeps you focused on what truly matters. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, leaving you drifting through the days, uncertain of where you're headed. But when you act with purpose, every action, every decision, and every moment becomes intentional, propelling you toward the fulfillment of your highest potential and deepest desires. Acting with purpose begins with a clear understanding of who you are and what you stand for. Without a deep sense of self-awareness, it is difficult to know what your purpose is or how to align your actions with it. It is essential to take time for introspection, asking yourself what you value most, what drives you, and what legacy you wish to leave behind. Purpose is not a vague concept, it is deeply personal, and it comes from a place of understanding your deep talents, passions, and vision for your life. Once you discover your purpose, everything you do can be aligned with that central truth, creating a life that feels meaningful and impactful. When you act with purpose, you also develop the clarity and focus needed to overcome obstacles and stay on course even when life gets difficult. Challenges will always arise, but when your actions are rooted in purpose, you are less likely to be swayed by the temporary distractions and setbacks that life throws your way. Purpose gives you resilience. It becomes your anchor when the storms of life threaten to pull you off track. When you know why you are doing something, when you understand the bigger picture, your commitment to your goals remains unwavering, and you are empowered to keep going, even when the road is rough. Moreover, acting with purpose requires a commitment to consistency. Purpose is not a one-time feeling or decision. It is a way of living every single day. Consistent, purposeful action is what separates dreamers from achievers. Small daily efforts that align with your purpose compound over time, leading you to extraordinary results. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of life's demands and forget to act with intention. But purpose requires you to be mindful of your actions and their impact. Every choice you make, no matter how small, should serve your greater purpose. When you act with purpose, you recognize that each day is an opportunity to move closer to your vision. It is the culmination of these consistent actions that ultimately defines your success. Acting with purpose also means being proactive rather than reactive. Too often we allow circumstances, other people, and external pressures to dictate our actions. But when you act with purpose, you take ownership of your decisions in your life. You no longer wait for opportunities to come to you. You create them. You don't let fear, doubt, or uncertainty paralyze you. Instead, you take bold steps toward the life you want to live. Purpose gives you the courage to take calculated risks and to make decisions based on your values and long-term goals, rather than on short-term comfort or societal expectations. Ultimately, acting with purpose means living a life that is true to you, aligned with your deepest values and driven by your highest aspirations. It is about making every day count, knowing that each step you take is bringing you closer to the person you were always meant to be. When you act with purpose, you not only find fulfillment and success, but you also inspire others to live with intention and passion. You become a living example of what is possible when we choose to act with purpose, and in doing so, you create a ripple effect that spreads far beyond your own life. In closing, remember this: you were born with everything you need to achieve greatness. You have within you the power to rise above fear, embrace challenges, trust your journey, and soar to heights you never thought possible. The key is to act with purpose, to stay grounded in your values, and to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. The world is waiting for the unique gifts that only you can bring. Don't hold back. Let go of doubt, trust the process, and remember that every step you take with purpose brings you closer to the life you were destined to live. So spread your wings, stand tall, and step boldly into the future. The journey ahead may not always be easy, but it is yours, and you are equipped for every challenge. Embrace it, trust it, and most of all, soar. Your greatness is waiting. Thank you.